Hello all and welcome to another Captain Entertainment video. It's Art here with the book review for Don Winslow's The Power of the Dog. I'm filming inside today in kind of a new setup, at least a little bit of a cleaner setup because it's currently 94 degrees outside and it's hot as all get out. So sitting outside is not even remotely an option. But back to the book. This book is written well. It's written almost, now I know it's a work of fiction, but it's written almost as though Don Winslow has an inside track of what went on in the late 80s, early 90s, and the Mexican drug cartels and drug trade. It is the Power of the Dog series, but which they make sense of, and they do very much. But it feels a little bit like the TV show The Shield and a cross between The Godfather and The Sopranos in parts, because you follow a DEA agent named Art, very easy for me to remember, as he's trying to stop the supposedly non-existent drug trade in Mexico from siphoning up to the Americas, while in New York, into the U.S. I should say, while in New York you follow a crime family who is trying to survive and sees the drug trade as a potential way for them to survive. Yes, I know, Tigger. Tigger, one of the cats, my gamer buddy 015 left in here. Lay on bed. Lay on bed. Sorry for that interlude, but it's written very well. And for the case of the DEA agent, things happen to him that would have happened to Vic Mackey, because this is a more realistic work of fiction than, say, Sean Ryan's The Shield. Now, y'all know I love Sean Ryan's The Shield. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying it's one of my all-time favorite TV shows, but there were certain things that Vic got away with that were less believable than one may think, that Art does not get away with, because Winslow keeps his universe grounded in reality. Now, I know that there are 2 or 3 books in the series. I believe The Cartel, and then a 3rd book in the series. He may be writing the 4th book. Through the reading of The Power of the Dog and the current reading of The Force, I'm beginning to love Winslow's gritty nature in writing, his truistic nature in writing, because he even though he writes fiction, it's grounded in so much deep truth and so much deep reality that he blurs the line in what may be fact and what may be fiction, because he uses historical events to embellish and give a backdrop to what's going on in his narrative. It's a really amazing piece of work. It's a lot like what Anthony Horowitz does with the Inspector Hawthorne series, only grittier and more real. And of course, Winslow does not include himself in the series. It is a very real tale. It's a very gripping tale. It's a dark tale, because even though it's a work of fiction, positive things don't always happen. It's not a work of positivity. it's a realistic work of fiction. It's fiction grounded in reality, I guess is the best way to put it. He blurs the line so much that I actually had to look up things and was like, was that a real event? Okay, that was, and that wasn't. So, if you're looking for a realistic take on fiction, like maybe, I almost feel like, even though it's long, it's over 450 pages, I almost feel like it would be a good way for a non-reader to enter the realm of reading, because it does deal with historical events that they can ground themselves in, especially if they were alive during that time and remember that time. It's a very much gripping tale of truth, of loss, of danger, of anger. It is everything you could hope something like this would be. I'm trying to give you the best descriptors while not giving you too much, because as you know I do spoiler-free reviews, but also because I want you going into it, right Tigger? I want you going into it with knowing the least amount possible, so that you're, what's the word I'm looking for? So that you're blindsided with how good and how gritty this book is. It's definitely a 5-star read for me. It's a read it, own it, love it. Don Winslow, while he's getting more and more acclaim with each book he comes out with, he is a criminally underappreciated author in my opinion. He just recently got to my radar and got to where I think he should be on every fiction fan's radar, and he just, I don't think is. Now yeah, he's a major seller, but like, his publisher puts a lot behind him, and you see him on kiosk, but I don't see a lot of people picking him up. I might be wrong, but I certainly haven't seen anything about it here on BookTube, and I peruse BookTube here a lot, and I certainly haven't seen him in a lot of author talks that I search for on YouTube either. So that's why when Don Winslow was brought up to me in the Read or Dead podcast by Book Riot, I definitely wanted to check it out, because I had seen his name, but I hadn't read his stuff, and boy am I glad I read his stuff, because it's simply amazing. It is simply one of the best books I've read all year, and to date I've read about 40, close to 40. So I've read a bunch. So I cannot recommend it enough. Like I said, it's read it, own it, love it. 5 stars for me. Let me know in the comments down below if you have read any Don Winslow and what you thought about him, or if you're thinking about picking him up, or a lesser known author here on BookTube that you think doesn't get enough play that maybe I can shed light on with you, of course, because most of you are booktubers as well. But if there are 2 of us, or 3 of us, or 4 of us trumpeting the call, then maybe we shall be heard. But without further ado, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please smash that notification bell to be notified when I upload a video, if YouTube is working that day. And without further ado, happy reading, everybody. I'll see you again soon. And peace.